What is up, everyone? Today is the start of week 2 of the vlog series, and today it is Sunday. We have nothing really to do, but for the intro of this week, we have a lot of news data that is supposed to come out. We have CPI and PPI. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to full port any of these because of what happened last week, but for this week, I'm hoping that we go positive. We get at least one solid trade in and not have any losses. So besides that, I don't think I'm really going to be looking for much else except just solid trades. This is what we're setting up right now. We're back testing currently and then talking to the Discord as well. But besides that, oh, also peep the salmon. Fire. Anyway, going to be back testing a bit before the start of the week. Last week I think we ended off with 2 break evens and 1 slight win. Again, going into this week, hoping that we can pull at least 1 W and maybe not as many break evens, but we'll have to see about that. But besides that, I will leave you guys to Ian on Monday and see what we do from there. But thank you guys for popping in and hope you guys enjoy this week. So I'll see y'all then. Peace. I don't know if this is the worst thing that has happened to me so far in my entire trading career, but I just got beaten in the worst way possible. Let me flip the camera around for you guys. This is the trade that I took targeting data highs, right? 15-minute gap, got tapped into, created a bullish SMT, 3-minute inverse gap, flipped, entry, targeting data highs. Oh, what is that? Oh, we don't hit it by 3 points and then it reverses. Oh, and guess what? I had my stops at this high. I had my stops above my break-even point, as you can see right here, but because of slippage, it stopped me right here. As you can guys see right there, that little red line. So I had stops above break even and I still lost. No, and also not to mention I full ported CPI as well today and I blew my account due to the same thing that happened last week. Buy stop gets placed, entry immediately blows my account. I can't do anything about it, even though the account would have been in profit because CPI was bullish again and I was in a long position. I really don't know what's happening, but blew an account again, full porting CPI, and then just the most brutal beat ever out of like the best mech model you could have ever asked for today. That's just brutal, like honestly. And then we just continued lower, targeting this 4-hour gap, and now we're just, chopping lower. Whatever, dude. Whatever. Stupid. It's stupid. I'm pissed. I'm tilted. I'm full tilt right now. I'm not gonna take a trade, obviously. I'm gonna even show you guys. 49,600. Log out. We don't need that shit in our life. But yeah, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm probably gonna be a bit more aggressive because of this stupid ass loss. But yeah, that's how my Monday went. But yeah, let's see what we have tomorrow for news. We have core PPI. We have core PPI of October as well, because Trump was doing something during October, had the government shut down. So maybe I might full port that as well. But I don't know for sure, because with those 2 types of data, it could honestly just like wick out and go up higher. So I don't know if I'm going to do that, but yeah, blew the account again off of just stupid, just really dumb. And then I lost the trade, even though stops are above break even. I'm going to be posting it on my IG story just because of how like stupid it was. It was actually unbelievable, but that's how my Monday went. And yeah, if I don't take any trades during Asia session, this will be the end of Monday, and I will see y'all for Tuesday. It is now Tuesday, and unfortunately, I got break even for the second time. And honestly, I just need your guys' opinion on it. I'm going to be making a trade recap over this, so it's going to be in the top right pinned if you want to check that out. But this was just a con short. Price was trending lower. We swept out this internal high right here. Granted, there was data highs above, but didn't really care because we swept it, and then we had such a harsh reaction. This is the con short that I took right here. Great displacement out of a 1 minute gap, and then targeting London lows, Asia lows, and then like an equal low below as price just decided to go lower. But here's the issue. On the 5 minute, we created a 5 minute gap, and I think you guys saw on the 1 minute that there were equal highs. So I went break even thinking, you know what? After sweeping that internal low right there, price is either going to do one or two things. Price is either going to react off that internal low, go up to that 5 minute gap, sweep it, and then continue lower, which is why I went break even, thinking, you know, if that happens, I'll be safe, I'll be break even, I won't take any losses. Or we just tap that internal low and we flush through it. And it kind of did that. I mean, we tapped into it, we came back up, swept something, I don't really know, maybe tapping this 1 minute order block, and then we just came back lower, and that's that. We just flushed lower. I don't really know what to think about this trade. I personally think it was a good trade, especially a good break-even point, but maybe I was too risk adverse, especially being on an eval account, so maybe I was wrong for this. But if this was on a funded account, if that trade was on a funded account, there was no way I'm taking that type of like risk with that 5 minute gap above. I definitely would have gone break even 100% of the time, but maybe because it wasn't an eval account or it wasn't a funded account, I should have just been more risk averse. But I need you guys to let me know. Again, it's going to be in that top right corner for my trade recap over this break even trade. But yeah, sucks that I got break even. This would have been a $2,000 win because this was a 1 to 1.8 RR trade. So, yep. And then besides that, market kind of just consolidated, came back up, tapped this 15-minute gap, and then kind of just flushed lower, taking out most of the draws for the day. We are now super bearish, right? But yeah, I don't know. If I don't take any trades during Asia session or anything like that, I will see y'all for Wednesday. I don't really know what's going to happen for Wednesday, considering we just took out a whole bunch of draws, but we'll see then. I'll see y'all then. Peace out. Well, it is now Wednesday, and I took a pretty big loss, about $1,100 on my eval account. I basically full ported, and I got burnt. So I took two trades today. One of them was this 3 minute IFVG targeting this high right here, which was a internal high, and then my external draws was going to be these data highs up here. But what I failed to notice is that even though we did sweep this sell side on the 15 minute and created a bullish SMT, we didn't tap into any confluences lower or any 5 or 15 minute fair value gaps lower to justify the reasoning for us to continue higher. And then as you can see now, after tapping my break-even point, coming all the way down, sweeping this 15-minute intermediate low, tapping this 4-hour gap, we are now getting this strong bullish pressure out of here, which is the thing that I should have waited for in the beginning. I guarantee you now we're probably going to rip up higher, but maybe consolidate, tapping here, and then rip up higher, taking out these highs. But I basically got into this trade too early, and I got burnt because of it. I didn't wait for more confirmation that longs were the play today, and I got burnt. The original trade that I took that I had break even was this 5-minute flip right here. As you can see, this 5-minute gap, we swept out this 15-minute low right here, 5-minute inverse, targeting again these highs, and then my external draw again was being those data highs. But we had an SMT right away, and I went break even right away, and that's what happened. As you can see, entry, exit right at the same time. So pretty major loss today. This was this is a pretty big loss. I think I have I have $500 on my account because of the unfortunate break even that happened on Monday, which took my account balance from 50,000 to 49.6. And then this was an $1,100 loss today, which is now my account balance at 48.5. So basically I have one trade left on this account, this eval account. Unfortunately, there is no news tomorrow on Friday. There's no news on Friday. And then Monday is a bank holiday. So a lot of back testing. That's all I'm going to say. A lot of back testing is going to be done over this weekend, trying to get, back into the flow of things. And, immediately after I entered, I was like, oh my God, we didn't tap into that 15-minute low that I wanted to target, which is right here. As soon as I entered, I was like, oh man, I prematurely entered, and I knew this was not going to be a good trade because market didn't have enough reason to go higher and it didn't have enough reason to go lower. And because of that, we were stuck in chop for like 30, 40 minutes. And then market finally came down, swept this low, tapped into a bullish gap, and now we're ripping, having some nice price coming up higher. Unfortunate loss today. That's on me fully. Again, I'm going to have a trade recap over this trade as well. And I'm going to be breaking down the reasonings why I knew that this trade was not going to work right away, but I'll take this loss. It is fully on me, and we are going to continue. I'm going to be back testing tonight. Hopefully I'll get some recordings of me back testing for you guys, and maybe some tips and tricks for back testing over the night as well. But besides that, this has been a pretty bad week. 2 break evens and 1 loss. So not starting off too hot, but I will see y'all then. Well, it is Friday and I took 0 trades. There was this mech model short that did play out, but it took my break-even point and we moved already 200 points prior to the move. So I did not take anything, but here is the trade that could have played out, but I didn't take it. As you can see, 5-minute retrace, 3-minute flip out of here, targeting an unfilled 4-hour gap lower. But as you guys can see, price basically moved 300 points and about 170 points prior to this move right here. So as you guys can see, took out my break-even point right here before I could even get an entry because this was the 3-minute flip that I wanted. We took that out right here, and that was my break-even point, so I was unable to enter that. There was also another con short that did play out, but I mean, it was a solid retracement, but the displacement candle was just not it. 1-minute gap right here, retracement into it, had a nice pushback lower. This was the displacement candle I was looking at, and as you can see, price just kind of was super choppy and slow, and then we kind of flooded lower. So those were the 2 trades that I could have taken. I didn't really take because, again, the mech model short was took out my break even and price already moved 180 points, taking out a whole bunch of draws. And then that con short was not good either because, again, the displacement candle was not, it wasn't clean enough for me to take that trade. So we end the week off with 2 break evens and 1 loss. This is the account balance right now, 48.5. And yeah, to say that this week was good, I would be lying. Break evens and a loss it's fine, but definitely some lessons that I've learned this week for sure. So yeah. Alrighty, this is the week review of the 3 trades that I decided to take this week. The first one was a mech model long targeting a data high. The second one was a continuation short targeting a unfilled 4-hour gap. And then the third one was a mech model long again targeting data highs. Now, this week was pretty rough. I had 2 break evens and then a loss. And then the first break even that I had this week, which was that mech model long, actually lost me $400 because of market slippage. So I'm ending off the week with a $1,500 loss. The third trade that I took for an actual loss was a full $1,000. I sized up pretty heavy on this, and then I'm gonna explain it to you guys. It was basically as soon as I entered, I was just like, oh my God, it wasn't a good trade to begin with. So I sized up and it wasn't a good trade. So basically just a really fat L. So going into our first trade, which was a break-even mech model long, as you guys can see right here, it was a clean liquidity sweep of sell side liquidity with a 3-minute inverse, and then we had data highs as our target. Now, I'm gonna pop up another photo as well, showing that we missed take profit by 3 ticks. 3 ticks from full TP, and then market basically reversed. The reasoning for this was because my original thought of data high was not data high, because I was on the 3-minute time frame. I failed to realize that we swung the actual data high out, and then we had a whole market, basically the market just crashed after sweeping out that minute data high rather than the 3-minute data high. This setup right here was like, it was perfect. It was the exact mech model you want. You know, sell side sweep targeting, sell side sweep tapping into a 15-minute / hourly bullish for value gap, then a 3-minute inverse to the upside, targeting again data highs, which is a really strong draw. The only thing that I got wrong was that the data highs was on the 1-minute and not the 3-minute, and I targeted the 3-minute one, which then led me to take a break even. But because of how many orders there were on the sell side, market slipped and I lost $400, which has never happened to me before. I was full tilt that day. Genuinely, I was so mad. I sized up pretty heavy as well. That would have been like a 1.7K win as well if I fully won that trade, and then it didn't happen. So yeah, pretty angry about that one, but for the actual trade itself, it was perfect. It was everything I needed to do, and I'm not gonna be mad about that. I'm just mad that market slipped and I lost $400 on that. So on to number 2, which was a continuation short model. Now, this short was good up until the point where it was about halfway through the trade and a 5-minute gap above was created, causing me to have some doubts, in which I went break even, and then immediately me going break even, it hit my break even point, and then market slid and hit my full TP. So this continuation short was basically a tap of a 1-minute gap and then targeting an unfilled 15 / hourly again. And yeah, I was just super sus about this trade, because when I was entering it, there was no 5-minute gap above, there was no equal highs above either. And then halfway through the trade, I realized that a 5-minute gap above formed with that equal high above, and I was starting to doubt whether we were going to continue lower or if we were going to continue higher, fill out that range, and then continue lower. And that was honestly a fine break-even point for me, because in a continuation strategy, you usually want to see price continue lower or continue higher. So when you have market structure forming higher or lower of your continuation strat, and guess what? We've just been sliding lower or sliding higher, a rebalance is bound to happen. So that break-even point was completely fine, because guess what? Market could have came up to that 5-minute, those equal highs, swept it, and then continued lower, which would have stopped me out, and I would have lost that. I would have had 2 losses this week rather than a solid break-even, and then, 2 break-evens and 1 loss rather than 2 losses and a break-even. So solid break-even on my end. 9 out of 10 times I would have taken that break-even, just because market showed me that break-even, and I was like, market structure, discretion, I'm going break-even, regardless of if it won or not. That break-even actually had a lot of controversy as well, because I took my break-even out of wick of the breaking. That actually had a lot of controversy, because I took a break-even at the wicking out that break-even point, as you guys can see, rather than the full-on close through that level, which is a couple candles after that. So pretty controversy for the break-even, but again, 9 out of 10 times I would have taken that. Now the third and final trade, which was a mech model long again. Not a good trade. Not a good trade at all. As you guys can see, there was a 4-hour unfilled gap lower, and I was targeting an internal high. Just right off the bat, after seeing what market is doing, you should not be trading this. I shouldn't have been trading this, but I got a little eager and I didn't even over risk. I risked perfectly fine, especially on an eval. I just didn't take my trading strategy and I got burnt because of it. As you guys can see, we swept out a small sell side liquidity, which isn't even like, it was like a 5-minute low or like a 15-minute low. So it doesn't even count as a sell side liquidity. And there was a 3-minute inverse gap targeting the internal high, as you guys can see, and I got smoked. I was stuck in shot for 30 to 40 minutes, and then we broke lower, targeting that 4-hour unfilled gap. And then we finally, if I show the other picture, we finally had some good volatility out of that, because guess what? We swept south side, we tapped into a bullish 4-hour gap, and now we can continue higher, targeting those internal highs, which I should have waited for instead of just pre-firing the trade after seeing a simple 5 or 15-minute liquidity sweep, not tapping into any gaps whatsoever to confirm the draw higher. And yeah, got burnt because of it. This was a pretty bad loss, about $1,000, because I sized up, because on an eval, I know what I'm doing, apparently so, and I got burnt because of it. So the 3 lessons to take away from this week. The first one being, take your strategy. Like Friday, I didn't take my strat. I missed one main component of my strategy, which is after sweeping sell side or buy side, it needs to tap into an unfilled gap or a gap that has already been tapped into to confirm that we are rejecting out of that, bullish or bearish structure. So yeah, taking my strat, that's number 1. That should be the obvious. Number 2 is having a solid break-even point is better than not taking break-even at all. Like for that Wednesday trade, my second trade, if I didn't go break-even, we could have easily reversed that 5-minute and then stopped me out and then continued lower. Regardless of that win, markets can do that. So I'm completely fine with having a solid break-even point and taking it at break-even. I will be back testing, as you guys can see in the background. I will be back testing whether wicks through the break-even, moving it to break-even, or full-on closures through my break-even are better for my win rate. So I'll be back testing that. But besides that, the third and final thing that I want to take away from this is to journal more. I have not been journaling as much as I need to, especially the emotions that I'm going through these trades. Like this week on Tuesday, I was royally pissed because I got break even, but market slippage, and it took out $400 from my account, which sucked. But yeah, I definitely need to journal more, especially the exact trades on the higher time frame, the reasoning why I even took those trades, and then the emotions that were going through that I was going through those trades. But overall, I'm okay with my trading, especially for this week. Besides Friday, that wasn't even like Friday. I completely deserved that loss. Like the minute I entered that trade, I knew I was cooked, because again, it wasn't my strategy, and I got burnt because of it. But those other 2 break evens, again, the first trade should have been full TP. I just messed up on there, and then the second one was a solid break-even point, so I'm okay with that. But just improving discretion, not taking dumb losses that aren't my strategy, and continuing. But besides that, that is going to be a wrap on this week. If you guys want to join my free Discord, it's going to be in the description. If you want to see everything that I'm doing, basically for trading or content-wise, my Instagram is going to be down in the description as well. But besides that, I love and appreciate you guys. Thank you for popping out. This is the end of the week 2 vlog, and I will see y'all for week 3. Peace out.